is up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody's having a great day wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. I hope it's awesome and you are having the best day ever. Guys, thanks for stopping in and just hanging out with me, talking for a little bit about some movies. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button for me so that you can get notifications when I post new and interesting things. So on to our feature presentation, guys. Today we're going to be talking about a movie from last year, from 2024. I think it just came out. It probably didn't. It probably, like maybe middle last year. I don't know. I don't know when it was released. It's new to me, and it is Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl. This movie here, guys, I was just looking for something to watch, right? I was just looking, browsing, and I love Wallace and Gromit. If you don't know who Wallace and Gromit is, you've been living under a rock your whole life. Because Wallace and Gromit is like the premier, stop-motion animation product of Aardman Entertainment. I mean, Aardman makes other things like Shaun the Sheep, and I think they've done a couple other stop motion type things, but their main thing that they're probably known for the most is Wallace and Gromit. And every Wallace and Gromit story is different. They got the Curse of the Were-Rabbit, Vengeance Most Fowl. There's a few other ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but Wallace and Gromit has been around a while, right? So if you don't know who they are, shame on you. You need to get that remedied. So this one I felt a little better than your average Wallace and Gromit. It had a kind of I don't want to say a darker story and plot line. So basically the story is Wallace and Gromit's house gets broken into and they foil the robbery, and it's this penguin, this little mastermind penguin, and they send it to jail, and then it escapes and it wants to frame Gromit for basically the theft of this precious gemstone. And not Gromit, I'm sorry, Wallace. Not Gromit, Gromit's the dog. So he wants to frame Wallace, right, for this gem he's taken and he was put in jail for. And so that is kind of the whole plot of the film, is Wallace is an inventor. How many cartoon inventors are bumbling idiots? Most of them, right? So he invents some little gnomes that are they're called Norbots, and they're supposed to be helpful little gnomes, like household, like Roombas and whatnot, just help you do stuff. And they wind up getting messed up by this penguin, and they start doing things around town, and it gets Wallace in trouble. And so the premise of the film is them basically trying to clear Wallace's name. Fantastic. But it was just a little darker than normal. But I also noticed something in this about the animation of Wallace and Gromit this time around. It's always been an exceptionally well-made claymation film, right? And stop-motion clay film. So they've always been solid. They've always been really good. But I feel like they kind of upped the ante with this one as far as the articulation and the positioning of faces and body parts and stuff to give more expression and motion or emotion. It just seems like they just kind of upped the ante on that. And so I really, really, I appreciated that. I could tell. If that's what they were trying to do, awesome, because I could tell. If not, cool, because it looked like they did. But the animation, as always, I'm sorry, if you hear banging around, my dog is chewing on a chew toy, and she is right against my desk, and I'm trying to get her to stop, but she won't. And so anyway, the animation has always been good. I apologize for the shakiness of the camera too. And the voice acting, as always, is really, really good. And Wallace is funny. Gromit is funny because he don't talk, but his eyes and his body tell the story and make you laugh and giggle, right? And Wallace, he's just a bumbling idiot. But we love him because he's so absent-minded. He is the nutty professor from England, you know what I mean? He's an inventor. He's a dingbat. But we love Wallace because he's so pure of heart. And that's another thing I love about the Wallace and Gromit films is, a lot of American films they have a lot of innuendo in them. A lot of adult humor that goes over the kids' heads, but, us adults were like, ha, that was a weenie joke, or something like that. So, American animated films have that. And now there's a lot of animated, not just American, but, But Wallace and Gromit has always been so pure to me because they don't rely on cheap, nasty jokes, cheap adult humor, cheap innuendo. They don't do any of that. Everything is just very, it's slapstick, body comedy, situational comedy. It's all very pure and very innocent, where you don't have to, worry if your 10-year-old got that joke because he's old enough to get that kind of joke, Like you know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense, but it just feels like they've always been a very pure entity when it comes to animated films that I don't feel bad letting my young children watch. I don't feel bad letting my 5-year-old watch Wallace and Gromit. I don't feel bad letting my 5-year-old watch Shaun the Sheep. When my youngest was a baby, he loved Shaun the Sheep. Shaun never said nothing. But, Aardman has always been so good with the way that they have the facial expressions and again, the body language and stuff, always. And I think that, so the directors of this, I don't remember if I've mentioned them earlier, are Merlin Crossingham and Nick Park. They were excellent. They understood the assignment, the mission, and they did great. I mean, Merlin Crossingham sounds like he ought to be an animated character himself. His name it alludes to some sort of profession like he has. You know what I mean? So they really, really did well, like I said, with the way they were able to keep it pure, keep it innocent, keep it child-friendly, and also tell a dark yet humorous story for all ages. And I applaud them for that. So I'm going to give Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, 2 thumbs up. It's definitely worth your time. If you got young kids, you want a family movie night, pop this sucker on Netflix if you've still got Netflix, and check it out, guys, because it is well worth your time. It's a great family movie night, and I hope you enjoy it if you check it out. Thanks so much for swinging by, guys, and spending just a few minutes with me to talk about, some movies and stuff. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button for me. And as always, my friends, I am going to keep making them as long as you keep watching them. God bless you. Peace out, and I will see you soon.